This is going to be a two-part series. I want to look at some of the movies, TV shows, advertisements, and other signs that are all pointing to this time period between September 22nd and 28th, 2015, and especially September 23rd, 2015, the Day of Atonement. I'm quite confident that after watching this, you will be convinced that the elite, the Illuminati, the world leaders, the Luciferian governments, whatever name you want to give them, are fully aware of what is coming this September, and they have known about this date for a very long time. You may be wondering how they could possibly know about this date when Jesus said he didn't even know about the day or the hour. I would really like to encourage you to read my book for a clear understanding of what I believe Jesus meant by that. I also want you to know that God has a 7,000-year plan for mankind, and that after 6,000 years, he is planning to come back to earth to set up his new millennial kingdom. Satan knows exactly when this 6,000 years will end because he was there when God created the world. Satan has had thousands of years to study the prophecies and is very likely a highly intelligent creature. He knows when his time is up, and his goal is to deceive as many people as he possibly can. He knows that if tens of millions of people disappear at the same time, all born-again Christians and children, right before total chaos erupts on the planet, that billions of people will turn to Christ because they will see the prophecies unfolding before their eyes. He is not going to allow that to happen. He has an elaborate plan in place to bring deception to those who are left behind, to keep them from believing that the rapture was actually the rapture. This deception involves alien abduction of millions of unbelievers at the same time as the rapture. Let's say that you are a churchgoer and think of yourself as a Christian. You know that your neighbor is an atheist. Your neighbor is taken and you are left behind. Do you think you will believe that the rapture happened, or will you believe the lie that they are telling the world, that aliens came to save humanity from total extinction because a massive asteroid was about to hit the Earth and they wanted to ensure the survival of the human race, so hundreds of millions of Earthlings were relocated to another planet or dimension? If you do not believe that this is going to happen, please go back and read Joel 2 and Revelation 9. There will be a massive alien invasion of our planet. Who are these creatures, and where do they come from? It appears that they come out of the abyss, and they are demonic. But even so, the Lord is still going to use these evil creatures to accomplish his plan. He is in control, and his plans will never be thwarted, so we can rest in knowing that all of this has been planned ahead of time, and God will use it for his glory and his purposes. So why, you might ask, are they hiding this date in so many movies, TV shows, songs, and commercials? Well, remember after 9/11 happened how so much information came out about the date of 9/11 being hidden in movies and ads, even decades before it ever happened. I believe that Satan has a plan B as an alternative deception for those who do not believe the whole alien lie, and that is to make them think that it was all a false flag event for the New World Order to start on Earth. Satan has all of his bases covered, and both lies are partly true. Satan is good at twisting the truth to deceive people. There will be a false rapture event, which is a false flag. But you must understand that all of this is meant to be a cover-up for the real rapture event, so that the masses left behind do not turn to Christ when they see the prophecies being fulfilled. So if you are one of the people out there saying that all of the events coming in September are just a false flag and false rapture, you are partly correct. But again, it's only a cover-up for the real rapture event that is coming in September 2015. I again want to encourage you to read my book to understand how the scriptures point to September 2015 as the time of the first rapture and start of the days of darkness on the earth. So let's look at some of the movies out there that are pointing to September 22nd and 23rd. The Day of Atonement begins on September 22nd and ends on September 23rd. The first movie is Evan Almighty, which came out in 2007 and is about a man who is told to build an ark because a flood is coming.
It's September 22nd, and we're all still here. Awkward!
People! The flood is imminent!
Wait, this dry, hot weather will continue.
Until September 22nd, midday. And if the ark isn't finished by then, you will be.
Is that when it's going to happen?
September 22nd, midday?
The next movie I want to point out is Ghostbusters. I want to just show you a few clips from the trailers of all three Ghostbusters movies to show you that these movies are all about hell breaking loose on planet Earth and the dead raising. Then I will show you a clip from the first Ghostbuster movie where we see the September 22nd date being shown.
They're all that stands between you and the end of the world.
This city is headed for a disaster of biblical proportion.
Real wrath of God type stuff. Fire and brimstone coming down from the sky. Human sacrifice.
The dead will rise.
The Titanic just arrived.
Better late than never.
The demons will wake. Evil will flow.
Slime! It's a river of slime! It's like pure concentrated evil.
Evil?
Eliminati, scusate.
I've never seen anything like this.
Human casualties are massive. It's impossible to make visual contact. They're absorbing all our power supplies.
This wasn't just Moscow. New York, London, Paris, Tokyo, all reported invisible invaders.
The next movie hasn't even come out yet, but these are scenes from the trailer. It shows a girl being taken to a place that looks like heaven, and 2 times we see the 923 show up, pointing to September 23rd, and we also see a 100% probability being shown. Another movie where we see the September 23rd date is in the movie Deep Impact. This movie is about a comet hitting the Earth and causing a massive tidal wave that destroys America. Underground shelters have been prepared for up to 1 million people, but there is a lottery for those who will be taken inside. I will be showing you numerous cards from the Illuminati game in part 2 of this video that have the 923 date hidden in them, but I want to show you this one now since it has the Lotto and 923 date hidden, pointing us back to the Deep Impact movie that shows the 921 and 923 on the cave, as if to say that is when people should plan to get into their underground bunkers and shelters.
We all hope for the best, but we've prepared for the worst. To ensure our way of life goes on, a network of immense caves has been constructed. We're going to hold a national lottery. We can put 1 million people in them for 2 years. It is our new Noah's Ark.
The next movie is called Little Shop of Horrors, and this came out in 1986. The movie starts out mentioning the date of September 23rd, and then it says that it is on this date that the human race suddenly encounters a deadly threat to its very existence.
Day of the month of September, in an early year of a decade not too long before our own, the human race suddenly encountered a deadly threat to its very existence. And this terrifying enemy surfaced, as such enemies often do, in the seemingly most innocent and unlikely of places.
The next movie where we see the 922 and 923 is in the movie Knowing that came out in 2009. This movie is about the Earth being destroyed by a solar flare, and just before this takes place, there is a rapture-like event where children are taken to a safe place that looks like heaven. Nicolas Cage was also the star of a movie that came out last year, right on the Day of Atonement in 2014. Here are some clips from the trailer of that movie.
People from all over this plane have simply vanished.
It's not just here. It's all over the world.
It took them to protect them from the darkest time in the history of this world.
Looks like the end of the world.
Another movie that came out right on the Day of Atonement in 2014 as a one-year warning to us was the movie Gone Girl. The September 23rd date is found twice in this movie, and in the trailer the girl who has vanished mentions that she feels like she could just disappear.
I feel like I could disappear.
It's very interesting how this September 23 7 weeks home just appears in the movie for no apparent reason.
Know therefore and understand that from the going forth of the commandment to restore and to build Jerusalem unto the Messiah the Prince shall be 7 weeks.
This verse is talking about a 49 prophetic year count that started on June 7th, 1967, when Israel recaptured Jerusalem, and ends on September 23rd, 2015. We will go to our heavenly home on September 23rd, 2015, at the end of this 7 weeks mentioned in Daniel 9:25.
I feel like I could disappear.
The next movie I want to point out is called Seeking a Friend for the End of the World. This movie came out in 2012 and starts off with an announcement to the world that a huge asteroid is going to hit the planet in 3 weeks and everyone will be killed. It then shows how people react to this news.
The final mission to save mankind has failed. The 70-mile-wide asteroid known as Matilda is set to collide with Earth in exactly 3 weeks' time, and we'll be bringing you our countdown to the end of days, along with all your classic rock favorites.
The two main characters end up getting put into jail, and we see in their mugshots how that the numbers add up to 922 and 923. At the end of the movie trailer, we read, "The end is coming soon." The next movie I want to look at is called The Number 23, and it came out in 2007. In the trailer, we hear the mention of the month of September, and then shortly after that we hear the number 23. We then see a clock with the second hand on the 9, the hour hand on the 2, and the minute hand on the 3, once again pointing us to 923.
September 14th.
9/14. 14 plus 9 is?
23.
The next movie I want to show you is called Run All Night. It came out in March of 2015, and I want to show you a few clips from the trailer, and then I also want to show you how the September 23rd date is shown in the film.
Sean's gonna come after you, Michael. Sean's gonna come after you, Michael. And if he can't get to you, he's gonna go after your family. And if he can't get to you, he's gonna go after your family. This has got to end tonight. Tell everyone to get ready.
Hey, Terry.
It's a trap. You can die in a blink of an eye.
Wherever we're going, when we cross that line, we're going together.
The final two movies I want to show you do not have the 922 or 923 dates that I'm aware of, but both are alluding to the opening of the abyss or another portal around the time of the blood moon in September of 2015. The first movie is called The Seventh Son, and the second movie is called Vikingdom.
Hell awakens. Let us give the world a taste of what is to come.
You are the seventh son of a seventh son.
Our cities have fallen.
You can end this reign of darkness.
Everything you ever need is inside you, my son.
Keep him safe!
That is a vow I cannot make. You live in a world now where legend and nightmare are real.
What exactly do we do?
We fight the darkness, wherever it hides.
Honey, for that!
You don't! You run!
Hell awakens. My power grows stronger.
My queens!
The world of man shall fall.
Darkness is in you.
I'm not like you.
You and I could rule this world.
This is your most important test.
Join us.
Show me what you are!
There is in nature an irregular occurrence when the sun burns red as the moon crosses its path. This is the blood eclipse. A time when a pathway could be opened between heaven, earth, and hell, which the Vikings called Valhalla, Midgard, and Helheim. The Viking gods used holy relics as keys to unlock the gates to reign over man. Christian God and his son. Yet one God, the God of thunder, did not forget. He resolved to take on human form, find the keys, and reestablish the Viking gods for all eternity. The Viking gods used holy relics as keys to unlock the gates. The Viking gods used holy relics as keys to unlock the gates. He resolved to take on human form, find the keys, and reestablish the Viking gods for all eternity.
I also wanted to show you an advertisement that just came out. It's the official announcement of LEGO Dimensions video game, and this video game is coming out on September 27th, 2015, just before the final blood moon eclipse. I believe this is yet another sign that they are trying to give us that they plan to use CERN to open another dimension to the abyss at about the same time of the blood moon.
Honey, I think I might have opened a dimensional vortex. Oh man, now I've done it.
Okay, so here's the deal. There's this real bad dude, wears a helmet. He's been tearing rifts between all the LEGO worlds.
Wow. I only understood about half of that, but it sounds pretty bad.
And he's got our friends.
So we must return to our quest to save them. To the gateway!